Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. I'm your host, Sarah Jones. For this episode, I got to hang out with the very funny Adam Pasi. Adam is a hilarious Portland comic who has even been featured on Portlandia. You can catch Adam Pasi as the lead host of the show You're Welcome every Wednesday at Mississippi Pizza at 9:30 p.m. in Portland, Oregon. Adam also has a podcast of his own with his buddy, another super funny Portland comic, Alex Rios. It's called Chumba and Wumba. Be sure to check that out too. Adam and I explored the Lewis and Clark College campus in Portland, Oregon on a very dark and still night. While a college campus may not sound too terrifying, walking around an empty, dark, very old campus with lots of history and hauntings can be pretty unsettling in the best way. Be sure to check out our Instagram for pictures to follow along with the episode. That's at Lit Dark Podcast, LITDARK Podcast. Enjoy the show.
I still suspect this is a trick to make me do cardio. At least I got my new shoes.
Yeah, there you go. I guess this is a school where people become lawyers. So, they're rich. Which is probably the scariest part so far.
You didn't think to grab a campus map, did you?
You're right. I'm so fucking bad at my job. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Campus map. Look for the Corbett House. Oh, right there. Corbett House. So we eventually have to get up there. I would imagine middle of campus is right around here. So I think we just keep following this road. It should take us down. We'll hang out around Tamarack. And then I'll tell half my story. And then we'll follow this way towards the Corbett House. That's our destination. Final destination.
Where's the "you are here"?
I think it's the star right here.
No, that's admissions.
Oh, holy shit. I thought that was a person. It's a statue.
Fuck me. I'm glad you saw it before I did.
You're already running. Adam, what are you doing? We just got started. All right. What about that? Is that it? Oh, yeah, it is. You are here.
Oh, sweet.
So we're right here. The Watzik Library is to our left, so that must be that building right there. So we just have to keep following down. I say we should go for Tamarack and tell the story around there. And then halfway through, we'll keep walking and we'll go to the Corbett House here. The Frank Manor House. I have a story about that too.
All right, let's go.
But I'm just thinking because we'll tell half a story here and then we'll stop and we'll keep walking to here, the Corbett House. And I'll tell the other half right there.
Cool.
Okay, break. We can sit right here if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep, tell me this horrible story.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of the history of Lewis and Clark College. Excited?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Founded by the assholes that started off this whole Manifest Destiny thing. Now we massacred an entire group of people.
That's right, Lewis and Clark. Oh, so you've heard of them.
Yeah.
So real quick rundown of my sources. I used Wikipedia, www.the13thfloor.tv. Brendan Klein wrote an article that I used. I used a book called Haunted Oregon, Ghosts and Strange Phenomena of the Beaver State by Andy Weeks. TomLeachRoofing.wordpress.com. It's a blog.
Wait, what? A roofing blog?
Yeah, it was yeah, and he wrote, I know, it was really funny. But he has a little blurb about this haunted place.
All your supernatural roofing needs?
Yes. www.piolog.com. Leslie Muir wrote an article. And let's see, that's it. Those are my sources for this episode. Oh, and www.lclark.edu, the Lewis and Clark website.
Okay.
All right, so Lewis and Clark College, where we are, it was originally called Albany Academy, where it offered secondary and higher education to Presbyterian pioneers in Willamette Valley back in 1858. That makes this campus one of only 4 in Oregon to predate the Oregon's statehood.
Oh.
So before Oregon was even a state, this campus was here. It didn't become Lewis and Clark College until 1942. Their original mascot was the Pirates, which is fucking rad, but it was unfortunately changed to the Pioneers in 1946.
Not much difference.
No, not, I mean, but Pirates, that sounds dope. So the Princeton Review actually voted Lewis and Clark College the second most beautiful college in the nation in 2011.
I mean, we just got done walking the campus for 5-10 minutes. It's nice so far.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
totally. It's a pretty place to be.
I can only imagine what it looks like during the daytime when you're not trying to scare the shit out of me.
I'm sure it's much prettier.
Mm-hmm.
Notable alumni from Lewis and Clark include
Sacagawea.
No, but an actor and musician named Penn Dayton Badgley, who apparently played Dan Humphrey on the CW series Gossip Girls, which I've heard of, but I've never seen, so I'm sure that's really popular.
I'm too old to know any CW shows.
Yeah.
You got any WB archived?
I'm not here, but he was also in a movie called John Tucker Must Die, which I've also heard of, but I've never seen. When I was doing my research, I actually confused that with this movie called John Dies at the End, which is a really great, quirky horror movie. It's like a dark comedy that's amazing. So I got really excited, but that's not it. He was in John Tucker Must Die. Whatever. Another former alumni was a former competitive swimmer named Matthew Nicholas Biondi. He had 11 Olympic gold medals.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't have any Olympic medals. Oh, I'm sorry, 11 Olympic medals, not gold. Probably silver. Fuck him. Yeah, he can't even swim. But my favorite alumni from Lewis and Clark College is Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, former White House intern, infamous for her scandal with President Bill Clinton.
I'd say it was President Scandal. She just blew a dude.
Yeah, right? She just was like, I know how to get ahead.
Blew a powerful, charismatic dude.
Yeah, and she was like, that guy can play the sax. I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably blow a president.
Oh, for sure.
In that position.
Yeah, well, so she went here.
I'd wash the fucking dress. If there's anything Monica's to be lambasted for, it's just leaving cum stains all over her apartment. You wash the dress, Susan.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's not just one ghost story about this campus. In fact, there are several accounts of hauntings or otherwise unexplainable phenomena? Yeah, that seem to happen all over this fucking place. So one thing that comes up quite a bit, and the reason I wanted to bring you to the middle of campus, is because people have seen ghosts full on chasing each other all around campus, specifically in the middle of campus on dark nights. Nobody knows who they are or why they're caught up in the chase, but after they disappeared, people can hear phantom screaming echoing through the campus.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. And when it's described by other people who have heard it, they say it sounds otherworldly, and that the screaming seems to come from whatever netherworld the ghosts have returned to, which is creepy. There's another source I found that indicated a ghostly chase, but a phantom figure is being chased by a mob of angry specters. So the chasing thing happens quite a bit here, so keep an eye out for that.
Great.
Yeah, so if someone's being chased, they're probably not mad at us for being here, it's probably just ghosts.
So, do they describe it? Is it do they just think they're seeing people being chased, and then there's just no evidence of the people afterwards, or is it transparent or translucent figures chasing the people?
From what I understand, it's ghosts that people can tell that they're not actually real, mm-hmm. and that they disappear, and then they hear the screaming coming from somewhere else.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Is this episode done yet?
Not even close. We just got started.
I'm glad we're so far from where we parked.
Yeah, so if we get chased, it's just ghosts. Don't worry. But the center of campus, however, is not the only haunted place here. So there's a few different accounts of hauntings here. The Agnes Flanagan Chapel is reportedly haunted by an unknown spirit, as is the South Campus. So pipes in the basement of the Howard Dorm complex have been known to mysteriously break, and a figure has been seen floating aimlessly in the reflecting pool, which I didn't see where that was, but people, when they look at the reflecting pool, will see a figure that's not there.
That's me.
There is an old chapel situated on the South Campus, which I wonder, that must be where we parked, was the South Campus.
By the way, I just downloaded a campus map.
Perfect.
Like, in 2 seconds, I did all the research you could have done for this podcast.
I appreciate that.
While you were doing the podcast.
Thank you.
So let me see. Yeah, Corbett House is going to be right by, you say the South Chapel Annex? Or South Chapel?
It's called the Agnes Flanagan Chapel.
Oh. Does it say what it's by?
No. There's also the Howard Dorm Complex.
Craig Theater, Watson Library, Great Platt Field. I don't see any dorm complex. Maybe they keep tearing this shit down whenever something haunts the fuck out of it.
Well, the Corbett House is still there, and that's what I'm most excited for, to be honest with you.
That does not bode well.
I'm glad you know me well enough now to know what to expect. So
giddy over it. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Yep. So there is an old chapel situated on the South Campus, and in the top row of windows on the far side of the chapel, a light is said to be seen at night that should not be turned on. The source I read said, quote, workers have tried to fix it, unquote. I don't know what methods they used, but the light continues to be turned back on as everyone leaves. And the problem is that the light is in a closed off room that no one's able to get into.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so there's a room that's closed off, and they've tried to fix this light thinking it's like a wire that's fucked up or something. And they've tried to fix it, but that light continues to get turned on. And the people that work in the offices below that room can hear banging and knocks from that room that's closed off. And after they leave, they see this light turned on in that back room.
Fuck.
So that's in the South Campus, which is like where we parked. So that's what we'll go back to. Now is when we should try to find the Corbett House. So that's when this episode's really going to start.
Great. You said Agnes Chapel, right?
Yeah. Did you see it?
Well, no, but I mean the south part of the campus, it's the only thing with a chapel noted on there. So,
oh, okay.
So it's called South Chapel now, which,
okay.
Yo, poor Agnes, if they went and jacked her chapel credit.
Right, for real. So we're trying to find the Corbett House now.
I don't understand how there's a room that people can't get into in a building.
They closed it off. Like they closed off the room because they didn't want anybody in there because they couldn't figure out how to get this fucking light to turn off.
Oh, so they did try going in there and dealing with the light.
They tried to deal with it, and then they sealed off the room, and the light just keeps turning on.
Eek.
Yeah. So the Corbett House is at the see, it's kind of blurry on my phone, but it's right there. So we are right here. We just have to this is that roundabout area. We have to keep walking straight until we find the Corbett House. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. I'm so excited to tell you this story.
Yeah, great.
Should we go into where that parking lot is, or should we just stay on the sidewalk?
We can just follow this, or we can go back through the campus if you want.
Yeah, whatever. We just have to get to Corbett House.
Yeah. So either one takes us the same way.
Okay, whatever you want. I'm going to follow you because you clearly know better than me.
Let's go through the campus because it's fucking scary.
I like that attitude. So right now, Adam is getting his 10,000 steps.
It's really heavy. So come on, great in the podcast. It's great audio you're getting right now.
And we're walking through the Lewis and Clark campus on a very dark night. It is 11:15 p.m.
I like your walk up a hill podcast you got me. So thank God for street lamps, because this would be the creepiest shit in the world right now without them.
This is a really pretty campus. I get what Princeton Review is trying to say.
The only thing scary about how beautifully lit it is if we do see something.
Yeah.
And the same goes for non-supernatural activity.
Yeah.
If we do see something uncool in this lighting, There's a hard I don't give a fuck if you don't see me attached to it.
That's true. Yeah. People that want to be seen.
Like, scary and creepy is bad. Scary and bold is scarier.
That's true. Yeah, I hear what you're saying for sure.
This is the South Chapel Annex.
Okay, so we're very close.
Yeah, that's Corbett House.
Yeah, okay, let's go check that out. Oh, there's a sign right there. Does that say Corbett House? Yeah, it is. Corbett House.
Yep, this is Corbett House.
Uh-huh. Do you want to sit on the stoop?
No.
Come here, let's go do it.
No.
Come on, dude, this is the most haunted
We can
place
stand
here.
over here. I'm not sitting on the fucking stoop. My back turned to anything.
You don't even know the story yet, dude.
Also, it feels disrespectful.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, if you're gonna tell me, I'll learn and look at things where there's fucked up shit, but I'm not gonna step on its property and ask for it.
Okay. I mean, we're not going in, but if we could, that'd be rad. Okay.
What was that on the side over there?
What?
There was something on the right side that kept coming up every time you flashed.
That? Should we try to go in?
No.
Well, we have to find a good spot to sit right by the Corbett House, because that's where haunted takes place. I stay right at the front steps and just stop.
I'm not doing that for real.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Well then,
I'm on this little courtyard of rocks right here. These little rock rings.
okay, right here.
Yeah.
Then let's sit at least in front of the front door. Like right here? Does this work?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to get scared?
Yeah. In front of this gigantic, ominous fucking house.
I'll wait until you hear, dude. Okay. So there is an interesting story about an old estate on campus
Okay.
called the Corbett House that we are situated in front of. Let's describe what we're looking at here.
Well, there's lovely flowers.
Beautiful flowers. What are those? Do you know what those are?
I don't. I have no
Me
idea.
neither. They're like flower bushes.
Yeah, and they're very tall. They go up to the second floor of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little hedges with flowers in them below. We're right by the front door that I adamantly refuse to sit in front of. So I refuse to sit on the front step. It feels like I'd be fucking with whatever's in there that you're about to tell me about. So
Do you get an ominous feeling at that front door?
I mean, this is just normal scary.
Yeah.
If I didn't know there was any history to this place, which you wouldn't have brought me here if there wasn't, but even if this was just a building, I would. Even this I'm doing for the sake of your podcast. I would have much
appreciate
rather.
it.
I wouldn't tread this close to this place normally of my own volition.
There's an ominous feeling in front of this house.
Yeah, well, definitely. It just something this big with no activity in it, even in spite of the fact that it's closer to midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but even still, like not even a porch light. Something that it's like, what is this used for now?
It's closed off.
Fuck my ears.
No one's allowed to walk into that house, dude. It's closed off. I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's the house is about a half a city block total.
Yep. All brick.
All brick. 2 chimneys.
Yeah. Oh man, I bet those fireplaces are beautiful in there. It's an old manor. So it's a huge estate. All brick. It's very old. Let's see how old it is. It was built in the 1920s. And that front door looks so uninviting. I want to go in so bad. But I'm pretty sure there's an alarm system, so that's why I didn't open the door.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in with you.
Fair enough. Okay. So there are actually 2 historic buildings on campus. One is the Frank Manor House, which we passed on our way here. And that's on the Fur Acres undergraduate campus of Lewis and Clark College. The second estate is known as the Corbett House, which we are looking at right now. So these were elegant mansions in the 1920s, home to the families of Lloyd Frank, and Hamilton Corbett, respectively.
I'm assuming Corbett's also who Corbett Street is named after.
Oh, is there a Corbett Street? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like right back here. I used to deliver close to this area in my FedEx route.
That makes sense. This guy was fucking rich, clearly. So the story goes that the youngest Corbett daughter, named Harriet, but nicknamed Sunny, after her long blonde hair, fell in love with one of the Frank boys. So we went by the Frank Manor. It's like not that far down the road. Tragically, the Frank boy that Sunny fell in love with was sent off and became a military pilot, and he died in an accident during a training exercise. He was only 20 years old. So Sunny Corbett never recovered from her heartbreak and was sent to an institution for recovery in Pennsylvania. She died many years later, and she's buried in Portland's Riverview Cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Corbett House that we're looking at right now was later sold to the Sisters of St. Francis, where it became a dormitory for the nuns. Later, the college tried to turn the Corbett House into classrooms, but it fell into a state of disrepair for some reason, very quickly.
I don't understand that. The place just started falling apart.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand it either, actually. Like, they tried to make it into classrooms for the students.
It's a vague statement. And
it
fell
is
into a state of disrepair quickly. So they're saying the place started falling apart.
Yeah.
Like
so
things that were working
there,
were not suddenly.
Yeah. I keep looking at the windows, trying to see if I'm going to, see someone standing there or something.
Yeah, I was, and now I'm trying to not look at the windows.
Yeah. So I have a story about this house.
Okay.
So there's a group of 4 college students, 2 girls, 2 guys, classic.
Okay.
They got permission, actually, from the college to spend the night in the Corbett house. The only condition was they're not allowed to open any exterior doors or windows because it would set off alarms, which is why I did not open that front door, because I'm pretty sure it's hooked up to an alarm system.
Okay.
So the campus police agreed to turn off the alarms in the morning and let them out. So they were going to spend the night here. Campus police was going to come, turn off the alarms, let them out. So to paint a picture of the inside of this manor that we can't see right now, there are 3 floors. There's the main floor. It has dining areas and a grand ballroom. Upstairs, it has small bedrooms that line a long corridor. And downstairs is, of course, a dark and grimy, dank basement. The main banquet room was the only room that had a working light in the entire house.
Can you say that again?
So on the main floor, there's a banquet room. Am I saying that word right? Banquet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a banquet room, and that's the only room in the entire manor that had working lights. So they were trying to spend the night there, right? When they first got there, the 2 boys smelled a strong smell of rotten eggs coming from the basement, but the girls didn't notice it. So that's like that sulfur smell.
Okay.
That's like how hell's supposed to smell.
Yeah, brimstone is basically sulfur.
Yeah, exactly right. The girls didn't notice it, though. But then the girls had a unique experience of their own, where they both felt a sharp pain in their stomach that felt like a warning. So one of the girls felt a tug on her hair, and she thought her friend was just fucking with her behind her. And she looked around, and her friend was 10 feet behind her. So it wasn't her friend. But when she looked back at her friend was terrified because she literally just witnessed her hair, a handful of her hair, being lifted into the air by an invisible hand. What's interesting is that the girl who had her hair lifted had long blonde hair, just like Sunny Corbett.
Huh.
For listeners, my name is Sarah Jones. I'm your host. I have long blonde hair.
I'm trying to find an internal picture of the Corbett House online. I see images that look like of old buildings, but they're not labeled from where they're from.
Well, I'm thinking we can come up to some of these windows and try to take some pictures.
No, I'm not doing
that.
Like
that one right there. I will. Try to just get some picture of the inside. What if I got a face in the picture?
I would leave you forever.
Okay, so so this girl feels her hair being lifted, and her friend witnessed it being lifted.
Okay.
So even though the fun was just starting, this was enough for the group. So they bitched out and called campus police immediately.
Yeah.
Which I would be disenchanted by, but it seems like you're like totally with them.
No, yeah. Team called the campus police.
But the campus police were actually dealing with an emergency medical call and took 20 minutes to arrive. So after the group hung up with campus police, they heard crashes and thuds all over the house. And there were keys on a nearby piano that were clumsily being pounded. Although when they looked, nobody was there. Then a vacuum nearby switched on and aggressively, like a vacuum will in general. But a vacuum nearby switched on and just stayed on until one of the boys walked over and turned it off. So they all huddled in the middle of the room, I'm assuming like the main banquet hall that had the light, freaking out, waiting for the campus police to arrive. And when the police finally did come, the second the police opened the door, all the lights in every room of the manor turned on, despite the fact that they all had broken switches. Apparently, the officer escorting the kids out said that they weren't the first students to encounter Sunny in a, quote, playful mood.
Oh.
Unquote. So days later, the sound system of the house switched on and wouldn't turn off. Now the college has banned people from visiting the Corbett House. Tours used to run through the manor, and occasionally the spirit of Sunny Corbett would latch onto girls around the same age she was when the Frank boy died.
How old was she when the Frank boy died again?
I think she was like 20, early 20s.
Okay.
But she lived until she was like 75. But it seems like she like really held on to that in her life.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, did she pass away in the facility they put her in?
Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But she was buried in Portland. So she would latch onto girls around the same age that she was when he died. And it said that she especially loved to latch onto girls who had long blonde hair, just like she did.
Really?
Which is why I thought you would really love coming here with me.
Yeah, I'm prepared to ditch the shit out of you. Just a heads up.
Yeah, because Sunny fucking loves me already. I know that. So...
They said it's not... What were the other experiences that students had with the house?
Oh, well, they were the only students that I read about that actually went through the house.
Okay.
Since then, they had some tours that happened, but they had to discontinue them because there were problems in the house. Especially the sound system that started and wouldn't turn off.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually the campus just closed off the entire house, and it's just here, but no one's allowed to go in. Which is why I think I should walk up to that window right now and try to take a picture of the inside.
That's all you, man. I'll be right back here.
Okay, you stay here. Can't see anything. It's just a reflection.
Is the window blocked up, or is it just your camera?
Well, there might be a curtain in front of the window. I think there's a curtain in front of the window. That's not helpful. But this is only the front of the house. Maybe we can walk around to the other side?
Nah.
No? What about...
I'm not doing that.
Is that... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, look. There's a light on. There's a light on over there.
That's where it connects to the...
Library?
To the... whatever this is.
The chapel?
That's the chapel.
Oh.
So...
Oh, I think we can go back there. Oh, this is a creepy door.
So if you wanted to get a backyard view of the house, I think this is the way to go.
Yeah, okay.
Look at this, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Even at night.
Mm-hmm.
You can only imagine what it's like during the day.
Yeah. Well, that's the house, man.
Creepy as promised.
I just want to see a face in a window.
I don't.
Wish all those curtains weren't closed.
I'm pretty happy about closed curtains.
Really?
Oh, go back.
This is a cool door. It looks like a dungeon. So that must be the South Chapel right there. And that's where they have a light that they can't turn off in the far... Is it that one?
I mean, it's the only out of place looking light.
It says in the top row of windows on the far side, light is said to be seen at night but shouldn't be turned on. What did you think about the ghost story in the Corbett house?
I'm glad nothing horrible happened to anybody.
No, just spooks. Just a playful mood.
Yeah. But even still, nothing to be trifled with.
Maybe not. But I still wish we could get in there. If I didn't know about the alarm system, I totally would have opened that front door. I was like this close. It's approaching midnight. We're on the Lewis and Clark campus looking for the, what's it called? The Agnes Flanagan Chapel?
Yeah.
So like on a scale of a complete waste of time to fun.
No, the history is fun and interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you didn't have someone more adventurous with you.
No, that's okay.
But I have a thing about not fucking with shit.
Yeah, I understand. It's probably safe. It's good that we don't get in trouble. I don't end up in jail for the night because God knows I have nobody to call. Just be like texting ex-flangs. Do you remember me? Could you do me a solid?
Can you get me out of jail, please?
Sorry I stopped texting you. Hi, Tinder connection that I haven't met? I have an idea. Do you want to pick me up from jail?
That'd be a dope Tinder move.
First date.
Just try to Tinder your way home from jail.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That would be my first option right now, basically. Like calling other comedians. Hi!
Call Jenkins.
Yeah. Yeah, he would hook it up. He's the man. Call Weber. Hello. That's a great story. Actually, Dan would probably be really proud of me if I ended up in jail after an episode. So you do believe in ghosts, right?
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences?
Small ones.
Like what?
Well, for one, I have to pee right now.
Me too. But you get to pee wherever you want, because that's your male privilege.
I'm gonna take advantage of that right now.
Okay, I believe in you. I'll keep a good lookout. This way?
Much better.
Or that way?
Do you want to post up somewhere and I'll watch out?
No, I'm okay. I'll hold it. I've been a server for a long time. I can hold it for hours. I don't have to do that at the hospital because they give us basic human rights, which is a real weird adjustment, but...
It's always a nice thing.
Yeah. This way?
Yep.
Okay, so you had little experiences. You said you had some ghost stories.
So when I lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina, it was about 95, 96.
Okay.
I was at my friend Kevin's house. Kevin White.
Kevin White.
One of my good buddies.
Love that guy.
Good dude, a little bit off kilter.
Okay. I like those people.
I think he's mostly off the radar right now.
Cool.
He's one of those dudes who, no social media. The government's after us, and he's right, so.
Well, yeah.
But me and him were playing video games, Street Fighter Alpha to be specific.
Good.
He had his PlayStation hooked up to like this booming sound system his parents had at home.
Yeah.
And so it's just high volume stuff. And we're playing the game for like a while. And I keep sporadically hear someone go, Kevin! Under the game.
Like inside the game? Like coming from someone
Under
else?
the sound of the game.
Under the sound of the game. Okay.
So it's like they're screaming it, but because we're blasting the game.
Yeah.
So it's like they're screaming it, and what's it called? And so the only sound, the sound can just barely make it under my register, under the game.
Yeah.
And I thought I was just tripping, because I was hearing it for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Just randomly, every now and again.
And he wasn't responding to it?
Well, finally one time, he turns it off. He pauses the game. He goes, do you hear someone calling my name this whole time? And I was like, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to my house.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah.
like...
Because we were alone at his place.
And you had no idea? Oh, my God, that's scary.
Yeah, I thought it was just me hearing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Another time at Kevin's house.
Also at Kevin's. Kevin White. Where are we going?
I don't know. I just know this is the direction we want.
I think we're still straight.
Templeton. Oh, yeah, Templeton Campus Center.
Okay, cool. This is actually a pretty easy campus to, like, navigate as far as colleges go.
That's pretty much the way we should have went the first time.
Okay, so another story with Kevin White.
We were at his house and we saw a dog in his backyard.
Uh-huh.
And so we just went to chase the dog out the backyard. And kind of like the land was sand mostly. It was weird.
Okay.
It was like a bunch of sand and they hadn't grown their yard out yet.
Yeah.
So we go back to chase this dog out. I think we're playing video games again, actually.
Fun.
We go back to chase the dog out the backyard. And the dog's gone by the time we get there. But then we noticed there's not like a single animal track in all the sand in his backyard.
Oh, weird.
So that was weird.
What kind of dog was it? You're like a Jack Russell Terrier.
It was like short and stocky.
Oh.
Kind of like I'm trying to think of what breed. Pointy ears, but a little shaggy.
Shaggy.
Yeah.
But short and stocky.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know what breed that would be. Maybe it's a mixed breed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a ghost.
Ghost mutt.
Yes. Were those the only two?
One time we went on like a ghost hunting tour. Oh. Well, the thing about the light in the chapel.
Yeah.
Is there's this building that had been not used.
Wait. Is that the St. Agnes
like
Chapel?
So
yeah, tell your story.
There's this building that had been not used, or it's just completely uninhabited building.
Uh-huh.
And there was always a different light on it in Okinawa, Japan.
Oh, in Okinawa.
Yeah. Then there's the haunted hotel, which we never went there, but you can look up stuff online.
That's also in Okinawa?
Yeah.
I want to go to Japan really bad.
Yeah, Okinawa has a crazy ghost history.
Are you going to take me to Japan? Because I want to go there.
I'd love to go back and visit, actually.
Let's go.
But I'm not doing all the ghost shit.
Okay, fine. You can just hang out in the hotel room. I'll find some Japanese comedians.
You can find some crazy local to do all the crazy ghost shit in Okinawa. But one night we went like checking out all the ghost sites that we could find or were comfortable going to. Uh-huh. One was this bridge on Kadena Air Force Base where they're supposed to see a lady, and we saw just kind of like, I would describe it as a lump.
Okay.
You could say it's a person with a sheet completely over him, but it was just a lump. I didn't get a good enough look because the minute I saw anything, I was like, we're leaving.
Getting the fuck out. Okay. I think this is the Agnes, what's it called? Agnes Flanagan?
Yes, Agnes Flanagan Chapel. It's gorgeous, by the way.
It is really pretty. What are these? Look at, that's like a little statue.
Yeah, it's like a bull cradling a human head.
So it's, yeah, what the fuck is that about? So it says there's just an unknown spirit that haunts the Agnes Flanagan Chapel. There's an old chapel situated in the South Campus, so I think that was what we were looking at.
Does it name the old chapel, though?
It just says an old chapel. In the top row of windows on the far side of the chapel, a light is said to be seen at night that shouldn't be turned on. But at this one, there's just an unknown spirit that's supposed to haunt this chapel.
Oh, so the chapel by Corbett House.
Uh-huh. I think that's the one on the South Campus.
That'd be funny if that's just Sunny Corbett just skipping over to the chapel.
Yeah.
I run all these buildings.
Yeah, she's like, welcome, I love blondies. Who the fuck shit up?
That's Frank Manor right there. That's where we walked by earlier.
So that's where that Frank boy lived, who Sunny Corbett was in love with.
But this place hasn't had anything happen, huh?
Not that I saw, but maybe.
I don't like the hope in your voice. You shouldn't hope for a place to be haunted.
Well, yeah, dude.
Is that an ATM?
Is it? No, it's a plaque.
I believe it's just offices now.
Yeah, it looks like offices on the inside. Man, these people were balling, though. Can you imagine this is just your house? Like, whatever, I'm home. I'm home in my fucking manor.
I wouldn't want to live in a house this big by myself.
Yeah, can you imagine cleaning it?
Fuck cleaning, I'd be scared shitless at night.
Because it's also haunted. Like cleaning it and how fucking haunted it is too.
That's too much space for something to inhabit.
Yeah. I just think about cleaning it.
Forget haunted. Some dude could live in my house for like a year waiting to kill me.
Just chilling. You would have no idea too. It looks like Hogwarts.
I don't know, Hogwarts I feel like would have like an even older looking decor.
Yeah. But this place is a real school.
Yeah.
These kids go to school at Hogwarts.
Yeah, Hogwarts is a bullshit school. There's a new message of this podcast. It's that Hogwarts is an overrated school.
No, I would love to get a letter to Hogwarts.
It's really just a party school for wizards.
Yeah. I'm down.
Went this way.
Oh, this way. This is my favorite part of any episode where I'm done with the story. So if anyone stops us, we can be like, oh, we're leaving.
Sorry.
Bye. Sorry, we didn't know that wasn't cool.
Also, you took your sweet ass time.
What, I did?
No, this place.
Oh, yeah.
Like your security shows up.
You guys college students? Yeah. Oh, sorry, okay.
From the School of Hard Knocks, son.
We live in the Corbett House.
I'm Sunny.
Yeah, look at my long blonde hair.
Booga, booga, booga,
Don't you recognize me? I'm in a playful mood. You better fuck right off.
Yeah, like how brave I'm talking now that we're far away from the Corbett House. I wouldn't even sit on the fucking stoop. Just felt like it shouldn't be fucked with.
Yeah.
Cause like, I feel like me sitting on the stoop, I feel like you teaching me about it is one thing.
Yeah.
And then me sitting on the stoop is like, what are you gonna do, Sunny Corbett?
And then you just see one of my braids lift up and I'm like, oh, this is what happens. I'm so excited.
Yep, then I throw you through a window and I never see you again. You want it, you got it, I'm out. Ain't no blondes here.
Nope.
I didn't hear about one brown dude in that store. I'm leaving.
I hope you enjoyed exploring the haunted Lewis and Clark College campus with Adam and I. You can follow and reach Adam Pasi on Twitter at Adam Pasi. That's ADAMPASI. You can also find him on Venmo at Adam-Pasi. Maybe throw him a few bucks. Why not? While you're at it, check us out on social media too. We're at Lit Dark Podcast. That's LITDARK Podcast. Be sure to keep an eye out for merch coming soon to our website, litdarkpodcast.com. Special thanks for this episode goes to Sarah Schneider, my manager, Jonathan Cooper, my graphic designer, Randall Lawrence, my producer, Nick Wilson at Bridge City Media and Design, Dan Stutzman for being you and all that you do, Adam Pasi, my guest, and a very special thank you to all of you for listening. If you love this show, show us your support. Be sure to rate, share, comment, and please subscribe. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for listening.